Modern casting, race-changing fictional characters. The battle for diversity on the big screen has been long fought, but advocates are finally seeing their voices heard with the results of modern castings. Throughout the lifetime of Hollywood, the audience was fed with projects involving all-white primary casts. Some of those all-white films choosing to cast white people in place of an intended BIPOC actor. As many feared, it is believable that this is the result of white supremacy taking monopoly on another conglomerate of the United States, the business of film and television. While Hollywood has still recently miscast BIPOC characters within the decade, some recent casting choices in large productions have put the foot in the door for progression and shined a light on the possibility of breaking the glass ceiling for diversity and inclusivity. One of the largest stepping stones of recent was by the biggest company in entertainment today, Disney. In fact, plenty of examples of casting with diversity can be pulled from Disney's latest and upcoming projects. Much discourse online has formed through the result of these castings. Many who disagree argue that the casting breaks too much of the authenticity of their origin. More of those who disagree will point out how they believe casting a BIPOC actor for the fictional character is scientifically incorrect. Marvel reimagines their most famous damsel. In the midst of Zendaya's rising popularity, Marvel announced Zendaya's addition to the roster of MCU A-listers, leaving many pondering where she could fit into the Spider-Man universe. It was a shock to many when it was announced she would be playing the part of MJ in the Spider-Man franchise.
Thank you. My friends call me MJ.
Though not explicitly stated, loyal fans of the superhero were able to create an educated guess that MJ was the acronym for Mary Jane. With Spider-Man being the face of Marvel, Zendaya landing the role of MJ predictably sparked an uproar from upset fans following the recasting of the franchise's most famous damsel in distress. Being the successor of the role after Kirsten Dunst, Marvel fanatics shared their discomfort after changing the original red-headed love interest to a black girl. Following the spark of Star-Lord and Gamora's romance in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Marvel adds another interracial relationship to the long list of couples in their catalog. Contradicting all the naysayers, rebranding Mary Jane to MJ and casting a black woman opened a window for fans of the studio. MJ became the first black female human love interest leading woman in the canon after Lupita Nyong'o's character, Nakia, in Black Panther. Though the difference between Nakia and MJ is that Nakia and T'Challa mention initially how their romance was of the past, so the fans see none of that charm between the two in the film. Additionally, Black Panther exists to be a film concentrated on the hero based in Wakanda, Africa. The Black Panther's love interest may be expected to be a black woman, but creating MJ to be the love interest of the face of Marvel's Spider-Man opened the possibility that superheroes outside of Africa can love a black woman too. The MCU reimagines Atlantis and its protector. Looking at their next upcoming release, Marvel Studios has released the trailer for Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Many questions spawn unanswered with this trailer, as it doesn't give away much, but it answers the question that the new threat introduced is Namor, the Submariner. To the shock of many fans of the comics, Namor, having been tall and pale in the comics, is to be portrayed by Tenoch Huerta, a Mexican actor known for his decades of work in Spanish-speaking films and series. Tenoch Huerta recently broke into American productions, as seen with his work on the principal cast in The Forever Purge, and he gets to add being Marvel's designated Atlantean anti-hero to his IMDb credits. In casting Tenoch for the role, Marvel reimagines Atlantis to fit the ethnic background of Tenoch. The trailer displays clips of Namor in the Temple of Atlantis, which viewers have pointed out that it resembles Mayan or Aztec architecture, differing from the Atlantis known from the comics that sports a more Greek construction style. Marvel Studios redesigned Atlantis to take a more Mayan Aztec architecture to coincide with Tenoch's Mesoamerican backgrounds. Whether this was planned before the casting of Tenoch or after, it still delivers in serving diversity, as MCU watchers have yet to see a superpowered Latino. Tenoch's casting of Namor has made plenty happy online, especially Latinos that have little to no representation in the illustrated versions of Marvel projects.
Well, I'm passionate person from my history, the history of the continent and different cultures.
With another good offense of race-changing a fictional character, it not only represents a minority group on the big screen, but waters the seed of hope that the MCU will continue to diversify their roster and cast more BIPOC actors for characters that were illustrated as white in the comics. Although the reception has been mostly great about the casting of Namor, many haters didn't fear to let their opinions be shared online. Some made comments on how dissimilar Tenoch and comic Namor are. Others have tried to comment on the scientific impossibility of an aquatic super being having any melanin due to the lack of sunlight at the bottom of the ocean, which is, unfortunately, the same point exclaimed with an even more famous Disney character's recent live-action casting. Another redhead role given to a black woman, more BIPOC under the sea. Undoubtedly, one of the hottest topics since the release of the live-action The Little Mermaid teaser is the casting of Halle Bailey, half of the R&B sister duo Chloe x Halle, as Ariel. For many have adored the Princess of the Ocean, and being on the more popular end of the Disney princess pool, the reception from the general public about the casting has unfortunately not seen the ratio of positive to negative that MJ and Namor did. The discourse of this casting has led to many extreme and interesting debates on X. Of course, casting a black woman with locks in place of the iconic pale mermaid princess with strawberry red hair would shock the world. The answers of why it shocks the world sparks debates. Many are upset with the obvious disparity between Halle and the original illustration of Ariel, but those that voice their opinions on the race change are bombarded with accusations of being racist. Accusations of racism extend the argument beyond the casting of Halle herself. In attempts to reconfigure their impression, cynics of Ariel's race change have argued scientific reasonings as to why mermaids can't be black in the first place. Many have called out those mermaid scientists and informed them of two contradictions. First, mermaids do not exist. Second, sunlight doesn't determine the amount of melanin you have. There is some understanding why the appearance of the live Ariel may take some adjusting to do, especially to fans of the princess and the film. It has become an extraordinarily difficult scenario to voice any disagreement to. Negative reviews before the film has even released. For the teaser showed little to nothing of the film, it blessed the viewers with Halle's vocal talent in her cover of Part of Your World.
I wanna be where the people are.
It's unfortunate that most are dissing the casting of Halle Bailey due to her difference from redhead Ariel. Not only has Halle been one of the strongest vocalists in R&B, she is also a mentee of Beyoncé.
She's just been so supportive of me and my sister, and she's like that proud auntie that claps for you when you're doing great stuff.
Indisputably, Halle would do the entire soundtrack justice, for her vocal skills are more than up to par. It's also proven to have had a huge positive impact on black girls around the world. With the many viral TikToks and Twitter videos of children's reactions to the film's teaser, it has created a plethora of real examples of why diversity can be so impactful to minority lives. Controversy in the live-action castings for Disney princesses is common though, as seen with Naomi Scott's casting of Jasmine in Aladdin. Gladly, Naomi's reception after the premiere of Aladdin turned around as the audience saw the talents that they couldn't from the trailers. Perhaps the same thing will happen when people see The Little Mermaid when it releases in theaters.